Motrolix.
Okay, refreshed 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500. Let's take a look at this. This is the new display, 13.4 inches across, horizontally oriented. We'll talk about why that is important here in a bit. And there it is. So very nice, large center stack display. It's got a nice kind of just a nice vibrant feel to it. Taking a look from the top, hopefully you can see that. There's a nice cubby hole right here, storing little items. Have to be careful when you're putting things in there not to tap the top of the screen to get things in there. The driver's side AC vent kind of integrated into the same plane, generally speaking, into the same plane as this, as the display. The passenger side vent does have this bezel around here, so it's a little bit more separated. But there it is. So there's a control panel here. That's what used to be at the bottom of the pre-facelift, pre-refreshed Silverados, and essentially really all GM products over the last few years, introduced over the last few years anyway. So there's this panel here, that's the control panel, home, music, maps. This is the phone projection, trailering, and that's the voice command button up top. That's the user profile right there. We can go through that in a second. This is the main area, the main display area. And then there's the secondary display here. It's kind of a picture-in-picture type thing happening here from a user interface standpoint. So we're on the home screen now. We can swipe. As you can tell, there's the two icons there. We can swipe left and right, audio, maps, phone, cameras, Google Assistant, Play Store. There's Android Auto, CarPlay. We need to have a device connected in order to do that. There is also, so we can swipe on over. We have trailering, we have climate controls, settings, the Wi-Fi hotspot is right there, Google News, podcast, and the My Chevrolet app. So that's the home screen. Music. Let me get into that. There it is. So right now it's set to Google News. Let me tap that again. There is some way it's set to Google News as the input. But there are the inputs, AM, FM, Bluetooth. The traditional ones, there's podcasts, there's USB. Google News is the new input because this does run the Google Automotive Infotainment system, or at least the software. The maps is where this thing really shines, and you can really see the size of the screen and just the beauty of the software here. Look at that thing. It's huge. It seems to be showing we're at the right place, even though we're inside of a building here at SEMA, and it's really trying to acquire a GPS signal. I don't know if it's being successful in doing that. It seems like it is. It seems like we're in the right place, yeah. So there's that. There's a search box there, quick icons for gasoline, for gas stations, for restaurants, shopping, coffee shops, etc. We can close that out if we need to. Everything is really quick and responsive. That's great. This is the phone. So this is when a phone is paired via Bluetooth or via Apple CarPlay or Google Android Auto. That's going to display here. So like the Apple CarPlay interface would display it right there. Trailering and towing. So there's a whole bunch of really neat features here that have been redone for the 2022 Silverado refresh, including trailer lights, all the checks related to that, trailer cameras, checklist for towing, trailer weight, and obviously you can set the trailer and have it store that. And there's also trip mileage there and average fuel economy. That's obviously to keep track of how you're doing towing the trailer. This, like I said, is the Google Voice Assistant. Hello.
Hi, happy Native American Heritage Month.
Oh, he even knows that. Okay, great. So let's go back to home, and that's kind of the center section there, and then again this section, the picture-in-picture section. So there's maps that we can put in there, music, can display album art and song information, trailering, and the clock, kind of a analog or digital version. No, analog version. Yeah, analog version of a digital clock. That's about it. So the profile, we can hit Chris. We can obviously see and set that. That will save all kinds of settings here in the infotainment system as well as for the vehicle as a whole. So we can do that. There are some indicators here at the top right of the corner, so right of the screen rather. That's the time, the ambient temperature outside, GPS signal indicator, and the 4G LTE Wi-Fi signal indicator. So huge screen. This really, you can't, I don't know if you can really get a feel for how big the screen is, but it is huge. It's really a good size, really a decent size. I won't say decent, it's really a great size. That's the way I'd put it. That would be the exact terminology I'd use to describe that. And there it is. So 2022 Silverado 1500 refresh, center stack display. You saw it here at gmauthority.com.
Motrolix.